Minutes or so. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Rock Fantasy Files on the Rock Fantasy YouTube channel. My special guest today, honored to have him in the room. Ross the Boss is here. We're here to chat about his new release, A Legacy of Blood, Fire, and Steel, out April 28th on AFM Records. Welcome to the show, Ross.
Glad to be here.
And where are you joining me from today?
I'm home in Regal Park, Queens, New York City.
Okay. Also, we have Count Ralphus on, of course, from the Hudson Valley Squares and the Rock Fantasy YouTube channel here too. He's going to ask a couple questions. I'm being told that this is a compilation album. Let's hear a little bit about it.
Well, this wasn't absolutely not my idea.
Okay.
This is AFM's doing, and I'm really I'm impressed. They just go, well, how about we do a vinyl for the tour coming up in a couple of weeks?
Okay.
Do a tour, and it'll be like your greatest hits, if you really can think, So choose 3 songs from each of my 4 records with AFM.
Yeah.
I chose the songs, and they put it together, and it's really beautiful, red vinyl, nice and great cover. Excellent package, and vinyl is very, very, very popular.
Yes,
and,
it is.
Oh, it's just they can't make enough. So I'm really it's great. What can I say?
And this will also be released on CD if someone wants a CD of it, right?
I don't think so.
It's just vinyl. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I wasn't sure. I have to look into that for me to order some for the shop because I own a record store up here too.
A record player.
Yeah, you're gonna need a record player for it. But anyhow, it sounds exciting. And what's the current lineup in the band right now?
Our lineup we've had it for a while. On bass, we have the amazing Dirk Schlachter. You might know him from Gamma Ray.
Okay.
And he's just unbelievable. He's unbelievable. We have on drums Sean Elg, and he plays with KK's Priest, Page,
yep.
and 3 Tremors. This kid is unbelievable. I think I got the best drummer. I mean, he's amazing. I have an amazing rhythm section. Of course, it's Mark Lopes on lead singing, and he's unbelievable. He's also now the lead singer of Metal Church.
I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah, double duty.
Doing double duty. I was wondering about that because I know you have some plans to go out and
be with our dates. That's no problem.
Good.
And good for him. Keep busier.
And I've seen your band. I saw you at Brian's Backyard Barbecue years ago here in Middletown, New York, and then I saw you at the Chance right before the pandemic.
That was Mark's first show.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
The one at the Chance?
That was the beginnings of what. Yeah. No, the Chance wasn't.
Brian's was his first show. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was excellent, man. I thought he recreated everything, especially the Manowar material to a T. It was amazing.
Yeah. So, that was the beginning of our journey, if you could say so,
Mm-hmm. And you have some upcoming touring plans you mentioned. So what are they?
So we're going to Europe at the end of the month. I got 15 shows. With Sanhedrin and Savage Existence from Costa Rica, my buddy Anton DeRusso, and we got that, and then we got a whole bunch of festivals.
Any dates in the States coming up?
We just played last week. We played at Hell's Heroes Fest in Houston.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. I had
great.
some friends go to that to that festival. It was like a lot of great bands, especially a lot of the like 80s vintage style.
Yeah.
And new style, the new era of those bands, and some of the classics, of course.
Yeah, we utterly annihilated that festival. We really utterly annihilated it. It was great. And we played St. Louis, and it was just 2 shows, but we're gonna come to do more probably, but
cool.
I'm busy, so
sounds it.
with two bands, with the Dictators as well. So
I was going to ask you about the Dictators. I know that you were active with the Dictators again too, doing some dates, right?
yeah, we're working on the record. We've signed 2 deals. We've signed with Deco Records and Valley Entertainment for the the Spotify side
Mm-hmm.
of the deal, and so we have two companies working for us at the same time, which is I think it's pretty good. So we got 5 shows out in the West Coast with the Damned
Okay.
up, and that's at the end of May, right? The Damned are on tour, so it's going to be the Dictators and the Damned, which is great. And the Dictators have 10 shows in Spain in September. And what else? I don't know. We're just getting busier and busier.
It sounds like you're a very busy person right now. And
Yeah. So
did I know that there were some videos for a couple of these songs. Now these weren't videos you shot recently for the release of this album, or they were videos that were done originally when when these original albums were released, for like Born of Fire and
yeah,
Denied by the Cross, right? Because in the press release
yeah.
it put it out like they were like you shot new videos for it. No, I wasn't sure about that.
Oh
Just by
no,
reading this press release, just figured
no.
I'd ask that question.
Like on the first record we did, I got the right, not
Mhm.
from our first record,
Cool,
Blooded.
cool. Ralph, welcome. What kind of questions do you have for Mr. Ross Friedman?
Well, since
Far
he was
away.
talking about the Dictators, I was just wondering, like, who exactly is involved with the lineup this time around. When I met Ross back in last time they played the Chance, I got him to sign one of my Dictator CDs.
Oh,
And he signed my Manowar vinyl that I got hanging up over here.
Very nice, thank you. The new lineup is myself on guitar, Albert Bouchard, the original Blue Oyster Cult drummer,
wow.
and he's a genius. Andy Chernoff, me and Andy started the Dictators, and our new singer guitar player is Keith Roth from Sirius XM. You might know him from that.
Mm-hmm.
He's plus he's been in bands. He's great. I mean, he does all the old stuff amazingly well, and the new stuff. I just can't. I couldn't be more happy with what we're doing now. So
Not too many years ago, you were doing stuff with Handsome Dick. How come he's not involved with this version now?
well, we had the Dictators NYC, and that kind of. I mean, we did 7 years. I mean, we did quite a few Euro tours and blah 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 blah. And it's just at the end, everybody, Dean and JP, and kind of just they didn't want to work with him anymore. So we had that, things happen, it's just so the only way I could have the Dictators back together was with get Andy. Me and Andy started the whole thing in 1973. Just do what we had to do, and so we put the current Dictators back. So
Cool.
That's awesome how you were involved with like one of the earliest punk bands, and then you end up being involved in like one of the earliest power metal bands, like 2 genres that you're very strongly a part of.
yeah, they said I kind of invented it. So I mean, helped invent it, that's for sure. Yeah, just I was in the right place at the right time, I guess.
What
You
kind of
know,
When you
okay.
played the Chance the last time, me and my wife got to meet you and get pictures with you and stuff. And my wife happened to be wearing a Heaven and Hell shirt, and I wasn't familiar with your connection with that album and your band Shaken Street that you had back then.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I was
like a lot of
after the Dictators took a hiatus, after the release of Blood Brothers, I was kind of like hanging around, and then all of a sudden I get a call from my manager Sandy Perlman, who managed Blue Oyster Cult, and managed Black Sabbath at the time, and he calls me and he tells me they want you in Paris. I mean, who's they? I go, they want you. I go, who's they? Who is they, Sandy? They is a band called Shaken Street, who also had a deal on CBS France. And and Sandy like to get his claws into another CBS project, which BOC was on CBS. So you might as well just cut Sandy a check. Just keep, that's all you had, And he also, Sandy produced the Clash, and so next day I pack up, got my guitar, go to JFK. I'm in Paris. They pick me up, take me to their rehearsal place, the University of Paris University. My friend Eric had a spot because his father was a professor. So we get in there. I played like, I don't know, 30 seconds of one song, and they stop it. 30 seconds of my tryout. 30 seconds. They go, it was like something like that. I go, should I go, you want to be in the band? You want to be in the band? I go, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, I'll do it. So I was in Shakin' Street, and we went to San Francisco, recorded the record at the Automat, and then I found myself on tour with Black Sabbath, Blue Oyster Cult, Black and Blue tour, all over the place. And then next I found myself in England, opening for Heaven for Black Sabbath on Heaven and Hell tour.
Wow.
And it was the first, I mean, it was, I think that the England thing came first, right? So I'm on stage doing sound check, and then after sound check, this guy comes to speak to me, and it's Ronnie Dio comes to speak to me and goes, Russ, I really like the way you play guitar, and I love the Dictators and New York City rock and CBGBs and blah 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 blah. And then next thing I know, he goes, you gotta go meet my friend. He's working with our equipment guy on our crew. His name is Joey. He plays bass. And he goes, I think you'd find you two guys might get along. So I okay, yes, sir. So and I sought Joey out, and then we became friends, and then next thing you know, Manowar. I had a friend at EMI. I got the band signed.
Cool.
Pretty advanced, and
Yeah.
That's an amazing story. I mean, how metal is that? You guys meet Black Sabbath tour, and then start a band within a year. All of a sudden, Manowar is born after playing with Black Sabbath. That I'm glad I got to hear more of that story from you. That's great.
Yeah,
the song
great.
that. So we met on English ground in a backstage room. We heard the sound, and we all knew what we had to do. We called the high command, requested leave. That's I told Sandy I'm out, and so I named my replacement though to Shakin' Street. I wouldn't let them high, I would never leave them high and dry. So that's what we did, and the rest is history, I guess.
Great story. And the music still lives on with Ross the Boss, and you guys still do touch on the Manowar songs in your live sets. What do you mix it up like, half and half, or?
Well, sometimes we do more Manowar. It depends what the promoter that's paying me wants out of me.
I see. Yeah.
I'm a people person. I aim to please. So, but
who's doing the artwork for the new album? Your artwork's great on these Ross the Boss releases. Who's your artist for that?
Yeah. That's if I forgot his name, he's a French guy.
Okay.
He's a Frenchie. I just can't remember his name. I can't.
If he's watching, he's going to be calling you
Dan
up later.
Dan Decker.
Okay, cool.
And the album coming up, that we have a brand new single that we just finished in the mix last week. It's called One and All.
Okay.
And it's not going to be for this tour, but we have it's going to be released, I think, in July. AFM already has a singles release for me, and I got to start coming up with the new record. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So, I wasn't really planning on a new record right away, but okay. I mean, they're really excited about this new song, so and we already got the artwork for it, so
I see. Yeah, cool, cool.
get busy, Ross. Get really busy.
Yeah. You sound like you're keeping busy, which is a good thing, and glad we're coming out the other side of this damn pandemic where everybody was stuck home and we were doing Zoom chats, and now we're getting to see the bands on stage. And
I have my own opinions about that. I think it was a big scam, and keep people inside. People should be outside in the fresh air.
it was a
Get out of
freaking mess. So I agree 100% with you, my friend. I'm
The
still
last
paying the
official
price
concert,
owning a retail store in New York State with this whole mess, you know?
the last official concert I seen before everything got shut down was Ross the Boss.
Yeah.
That had to hold me over for like 2 years before I got to see live music again.
Yeah, at the chance. That was real close to when all that went down. I think I saw Opeth just before in New York City, but I think you guys were a couple days before or after that.
It was
So
like the
yeah,
same week, I think.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was. But
We here's a good thing about that. We were on tour. We did our U.S. run, a really good better than I thought it was going to be. It was really pretty. We had a final show in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
For Live Nation, and so we were going to take 2 weeks off before we went to Europe.
Yeah.
And Bonafide was going to get released, and we had the tour. We had the Burning Witches was going to come with us on the bus.
Wow.
Yeah, everything was all set for March. Everything was all set for the tour, and guess what happens? So
Boom.
the whole fucking world comes apart, and
Yeah.
So that was that.
So anything you want to add? I think we're probably running a little out of time on an interview. Or
I would like to say thank you, for your support and everything, and all your friends, and it's just for me at this point in my life, it's an honor just to keep playing and making people happy and doing good work that I'm interested in, and
Yep.
it's just making a living, and it's just an honor to play music, and I think that more musicians should feel that way. I mean, it's an honor. It truly is. If you're doing that, if you're doing something that you love, it's you really don't consider it work. I mean, sometimes I think it's like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. Oh, I wish. Why can't I just do nothing? I mean, just for a week, just do nothing. But that's not me, because I'm a workaholic, and I have to. I work. The batting cage is opened every day, and I mean, the cage is successful, and my family, we're running a whole baseball facility, a whole like 6 fields in Canarsie.
Wow.
The American Legion trusts us, and we're doing a tremendous job grooming the fields, and
Cool.
yeah, doing everything we have to do. My family works hard, and we do it right. So
I remember the last time I had you on the channel was during the pandemic, and you were at the I think the batting cages or something. There was like the baseballs flying around in the background and everything. Yeah. I had John McAtee on from Incantation, and it was one of the first episodes we did, because John was a regular. He's a little busy now. He's back with the band out on the road like you are, but he was like, now that I did a Manowar episode, I can do anything. That was he always said after that.
I was supposed to have that place closed. It wasn't closed.
Good for you. I should have listened. I should have took more of that advice myself. I'm still paying for it now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I had everybody that came in was by special appointment.
Yeah. Ralph, you got anything to wrap this up? One more question, and then we'll let Ross go on about his day.
Yeah. Well, back in 2005, he got up on stage with Manowar and did a few songs at the Earth Shaker Festival. I just was wondering if was there any kind of consideration after this horrible thing that went down with Carl Logan? Was there ever like any talk of of maybe having you come back? And if they did ask you, would you have been into coming back? I know that's you might not want to answer that question, but I would just love to know if there was anything, any talks about anything about that.
No, I think that the only talk came from fans that said it get, like 10,000 fans at the same time saying, "Get Ross back," it's
Yeah.
like, but Joey is he has to have complete control of of the situation, and that's just the way it is.
Mhm.
The way you've been out there playing and killing it with Ross the Boss Band, you think they would have just said, we got to get Ross in it, and it would be like a no-brainer. And how pleasing to all the fans that would have been. Like, everybody was hoping that would have happened.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, there's a lot of fans that came on board after I was gone, so it was
Yeah.
but for those who know, those first 6 records, unmatchable, unsurpassed records
Yeah.
Yeah.
that we did, and so and it has never been topped by them ever.
Never.
No,
Nobody knows,
I agree.
But listen, I'll just continue to do what I do, and
Mhm.
play the music the way I know it was made to be played, and how it was, to be presented, and so I do what I do.
Cool. Folks that are listening to this, listening to or watching this show here tonight, how do we find you on the web if someone wants to go to buy some merchandise or check out your website?
Well, you can get you can get my back catalog, you can get the AFM Hamburg.
Okay.
They're easy to find, and
Yeah.
you can Ross Friedman on Facebook, Ross the Boss Band on Facebook, Instagram. I mean, the usual place.
Sure. Google it and it'll come up, right?
I got to say something. I'm so over social media and all that stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like everybody, you see everybody's like, everybody's on the front. I mean, it's like, it's like, dude, come on.
Everyone's hating everybody. That helps to divide. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
my dad's tougher than your dad. No, but it was on my channel. No, it's on my channel. Yeah, I think we're on the same page with that.
Yeah. I think people should get over social media, but it's like, unfortunately, these kids are addicted. These kids
And
are
the scary part is it's how I kind of advertise my record store now. How we advertise gigs. So that because the radio is pretty much done. I mean, newspapers. We used to put an ad in the newspaper.
Yeah.
Now,
We have I mean, musicians have no choice.
Yep, for sure.
Get to our fans.
Cool.
Okay,
we got to get Ross the Boss to play Quinn's Pins. We got a new
Hey,
venue.
we do have a. Yeah, we're in Middletown. We now have a bowling alley. We're doing bands at. That's a good possibility down the road. Maybe it's something to work out.
Why not?
Cool. That would be great. So, thanks for giving your time to the Rock Fantasy YouTube channel today, Ross, and wish you safe travels in the tour, and hopefully we get to catch up in person and see Ross the Boss or the Dictators out there on the road.
Yep. You won't be disappointed. I guarantee you.
For sure.
Both bands.
Well, thanks again. And hey, if you like what we're doing on the channel, please take a moment to subscribe and follow what we're doing with our album chants and live footages and interviews with people like Ross. So I'll see you next time. Boom.
Next time, brothers.